Hello, I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney. A great many of our cases deal with accommodating individuals with disabilities. And I'm here to tell you the reign of terror of emotional support animals on commercial flights has come to an end. Hear me out. So you have to remember, an emotional support animal is not a service animal. There's a couple key differences. A service animal is a highly trained animal that graduates from a program of training and has the pedigree, has the ability to carry out the duties of a service animal. Whatever particular services that animal must perform, it can do so in a variety of environments with poise and maintain calm and help ensure that a human being can live their life in as normal a fashion as possible, or at least as viable a fashion as possible, in spite of whatever disability they are contending with, right? That is what a service animal is. An emotional support animal, at the end, became just an animal that you felt like having with you on a commercial flight. And it's not really okay. They're not trained. It's not fair to the animal, right? The animal doesn't know what to do in many cases, surrounded by tons of people on a giant tube in the sky with lots of noises and a lot of things going on, and the animal's just not ready for it. So what does the animal do? Gets frantic, behaves poorly, nips people, bites people, claws people. There's cases, there's actual lawsuits about this where animals hurt people, right? Some joker brought a peacock on a plane thinking she or he was funny, or worse yet, they didn't even think it was a joke. Maybe they thought it was serious. And it was a nightmare. Nearly 800,000 emotional support animals flew on commercial flights in 2017. That's how out of control this got. Do I think that animals are important for our emotional health? Yes. Do I want you to be able to have an emotional support animal? Yes, of course. Do I want you to be able to have a poorly trained animal free and loose on a commercial flight? No. No, I don't. I don't at all. And neither should you. You shouldn't want that. Because one, many of you were just trying to avoid paying for your pet to travel with you. And that was kind of a bad thing to do. Because you saved a couple bucks, but in so doing, you eroded the very real protections, the very necessary protections for real service animals that people need to live, to carry on living with their disability. So that's a really kind of scummy thing to do, to dodge paying for your animal to fly with you because you just want to call it an emotional support animal. The other thing was there's a lot of people who don't like to fly. They like having their animal with them. And I get that. I have a pet. I derive great joy and peace from my pet. But, I mean, if it's that bad, maybe you need to find yourself a service animal. Maybe there needs to be a program that can help prepare an animal to meet the needs of your disability on a plane and arise to the level of training and poise and ability that a true service animal would have, right? You can't just take a peacock on a plane and hope for the best. It's not fair. Not fair to the animal. Not fair to you. It's not fair to the crew. It's not fair to your fellow passengers. It's not right. It's not reasonable. It never was. And many of you always knew that. So this is the new rule. Am I a fan of accommodations for people dealing with a disability, including an anxiety or stress disability? Yes, of course I am. Unfortunately, I just don't think emotional support animals on planes was properly thought out. It certainly was not properly implemented. If you want to train them, you want to get them up to par, ready for the job, I'm on board. I am not against the concept of an animal who is a service animal for an anxiety disability. That makes sense to me. That sounds important to me. Important enough to do right. Important enough to not just take Snooki and throw her on a plane. That's not right. That's not fair to anyone. So this will roll into effect. Oh, also big thing, and I'm a huge fan. Delta Airlines used to ban pit bulls as service animals. No more. That is now illegal. If you have a legitimate service animal, Delta does not get to tell you no pitties on our planes. That was never really fair. It never really made sense. Pit bulls are not inherently dangerous. And a lot of the animus towards pit bulls is born of ignorance. Because, yeah, listen, did some people train them to fight and be dangerous attack dogs? Sure. Is that the animal's fault? No. Is it the breed's fault? Are they inherently dangerous? No. They were trained. And they did what they were trained to do, and it's the human's fault. So I'm really glad to see the exoneration of pit bulls as a breed and a return to sanity and a real protection for service animals. I think that's incredibly important.